What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Anthony with the Wrenched Out Garage. Today we're doing another install in our 6th Gen Camaro, and we are going to be swapping out the spoiler. Now, the 6th Gen Camaro comes with a lot of options, both OEM and aftermarket. So we collaborated with C7Carbon, and we are going to do an install on the ZL1 1LE spoiler available from C7Carbon. We're super excited to throw this guy on the Camaro, and we're going to show you guys how to do it. Now first, this is what the spoiler comes in. Obviously a pretty big box, so keep that in mind if you're shipping. Now, I got this shipped to Alaska. I had to go through a bunch of different avenues to get it here, but it's finally here, and we're going to do this install. Now, a couple of tools you're going to need up front to do this install is you're going to need a 10mm long socket so you can get the bolts off of the spoiler. You're going to need some kind of popping tool to get all of those little caps and whatnot out. And then you will need some type of adhesive remover. We're using Goo Gone, which is in this. You may also need, and I'm not sure yet, we're going to find out, a little magnet just in case the nuts that you take off of the bolts for the stock spoiler don't fall in. So let's get this thing started. Let's see what comes in this big box. It comes heavily packaged in the bubble wrap material. Those guys wrap it all the way up. So let me grab it. I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we will do a comparison of the two spoilers side by side before I do the final install. So here it is. So these guys do offer some varieties in this, and you can see this is the gloss black version. Just absolutely beautiful. So there it is. The studs are already mounted on this one. So a couple of things to note with the ZL1 1LE spoiler from C7Carbon is they do offer it in multiple versions. They've got it in carbon fiber, unpainted, and gloss black. We opted for the gloss black version, as that goes with our C7Carbon side skirts, our ACS composite splash guards, and a couple of the other parts that we're going to be doing installs on. But they do offer it in multiple versions. In addition to that, they also offer a height kit. This is the short kit, and then you can get the adjustments or mounts to make it even taller. There's two options for that. I'll have links to all of this stuff down below, and make sure to check out c7carbon.com. So right now, what we're going to do is I'm going to move the gear around, and we're going to take this spoiler off. A couple of things to note when you're going to do this install is, as I did, then you don't really realize it until you're going to do it. And that is, take a moment, you can clean in these pockets right here, and then your tail light area. But we're gonna get all this gear, and we're gonna move a little bit closer so we can get this thing installed. Again, you're gonna just need a 10mm socket, ratchet, trim popper, and of course, you're gonna need some Goo Gone or some type of adhesive remover, because there are pads that sit on the bottom of the spoiler mounts. So let's go ahead and get over to the car. Alright guys, so we obviously popped the trunk. A couple of things you may want to do, it's up to you. We did it off camera. We just did a quick wipe down and then got under the spoiler a little bit, as when we cleaned the car up, there was a little bit of residue because I didn't do that great of a job cleaning it, but that's beside the point. We have obviously some of these clips to pop out, and then you do need to pop these out. These are just rubber. You don't need any tool for these guys right here. So you'll need to take off, and I'm just going to throw my stuff in the trunk right here so I can keep track of where they're at. Now these are obviously recessed into here and into here, so that's the reason I grabbed that magnet in the event that I possibly lose it. But ultimately what you're going to do is pop this plastic piece off, and we're going to take this felt liner out, and then we're going to find the center. So this guy right here will hopefully be exposed. Well, not hopefully, it will be exposed. And if you guys watch the install of the third brake light video, it's the same setup and same configuration as far as removal as that one. So let's just go ahead and take these clips out. There is 7 of them all the way around. And if you guys don't have one of these tools, I'll put a link to this as well down below, just in case you need one. Obviously we use it And if you're going to be doing any kind of modifications to your car, you're going to more than likely use this tool over and over and over. So you're going to need them. And you do and should be fairly gentle with these because you don't want to break any of them. And then one quick tip with removing these, if you pull when you get it seated in, see if it can, so when you get these guys seated in there and you get it under it, try to pull it straight out. It'll keep this part fairly straight so you're not going to damage it or do anything kind of goofy to it. And so there it is. Now down here you see this cord that goes to your third brake light. It pops out right here. So don't do anything crazy. We're going to go ahead and put this liner in here. And then the access for that third part is actually up in here. So actually I'm going to have to get a smaller 10 mil. So let me grab that. Alright, so one thing I do, and it's not mandatory, but I do try to glove up, make sure I don't have any watch on or any kind of jewelry on when I'm messing with painted parts, just because it reduces the likelihood of you doing any kind of damage or anything to it, and that's what I want to make sure and do. So first I'm going to take out this middle one. I did get the smaller setup here. Or start unbolting it. I normally go with hand because I've got more control because I don't want to pull this back and then the little dude falls into the trunk, so I have an endless rattle. So you'll take these out right here. It does have the washer connected to it, so you don't got to worry about the washer falling down. Again, I'll just drop it right in the trunk. And so once you get it almost completely undone, what you can do is get your little magnet if you have it, and then just move the magnet in a circle like that, and then you'll actually just unscrew it that way. So there is zero chance of you dropping it. Obviously, I'm just sticking my finger in and unscrewing it by hand. And there it is. So super simple, a little bit of a safeguard so you don't accidentally drop that in there. Try closing this, and I might just grab the heat gun. As you guys know, I like the heat gun, but it'll warm up that adhesive. So let me grab that real quick, and then we'll continue working on this. Alright, so we got the heat gun. I'm going to try to just hit it around it to see if I can get it to loosen up some, because I don't want to damage it. Alright, so that is working. You can feel it peel a little bit. And I'm just doing this as a safeguard. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to just try to rip it out, more power to you. I just am trying not to damage it at all, if possible. And then actually, one thing kind of messed up on. So one thing that I wasn't paying super close attention to is there is a plastic clip right in the middle, so I'm going to pop that clip as well. There we go. So there it is. These clips are what I was talking about right here. So you do have to pop them. It's not a just smooth on and off kind of deal. So there it is. So let me do some cleanup on this. We'll take a look at both of these spoilers side by side and we'll keep going. The new spoiler does come with new pads, so what I'm going to do is just try to heat it up a little bit. And then if you just start on one corner, and then it's going to get hot, obviously, but you just take your time. And I am a big fan of just using heat instead of chemical, because chemical increases your chances of scratching the living crap out of the areas. Now, once it's all gone and there's a little bit of residue, I have no problem with using chemicals to clean it up. But if you're paying attention and you can apply a little bit of heat and it opens that the adhesive up a little bit so you can remove it, I'm just a bigger fan, because again, you're not going to be damaging the area, because that's really not the point. Alright, so while I finish cleaning this up, we will take a look at the two spoilers, do a quick wipe down on the trunk lid so it's all ready to go for the new spoiler, and then we'll check this thing out. Alright guys, so we're ready to do the install. One thing to note is going to be that you will have to change your socket size when you go over to the new spoiler. It goes from the 10 over to the 11. So we did change some of our stuff here, so we're ready to do this install now. We did get this all cleaned up. Everything is looking good here. So let's get the new spoiler on. I'm going to just not close this all the way. Ease it right on the lock, because I'm going to try to get some of these started. Now, one thing to note, this is the bolt setup, so you'll actually be using a traditional nut, lock washer, and washer. So it's going to be a little bit tricky on getting these, but we are going to go for the center. I think I'm going to go for the center pillar first to lock it in so it holds everything down, so it'll make it a little bit easier for me to do the rest of the install. So let me grab the spoiler, let's get this thing going. So when you go to do this install, you want to take your time so you're not going to scratch your paint. Fits right, should fit right into the factory holes here. Alright, so that wraps up pretty much bolting it up. We got these center ones to go, so I'm going to throw everything back together. Obviously, you guys know how to put it back together because we already took it apart, so you just do that in reverse. So let's take a look at this thing and wrap this up. guys, thank you for checking out the install of the C7Carbon ZL1 1LE style spoiler. Obviously, this was the gloss black, and as mentioned earlier, these guys offer it with the adjustable height, so you can actually go taller than this one, and you can get it in carbon fiber or unpainted, so you can get it painted to match your Camaro as well. Links to their products is down below, and I'll put some links to these other products that I use, the trim popper, heat gun, any of that stuff if you guys need those as well. We appreciate you guys stopping by, and if you guys haven't subscribed yet, hit the button down below to hit subscribe, because we're going to be doing more installs on the Camaro. We've got some stuff going on with the V-Rod. We've got a lot of other cool installs, news, and reviews here at the Wrenched Out Garage. So until next time, guys, hey, if you're out riding, driving, do it safely, and we'll see you guys in the next video.